welcome back to this special KUBS broadcast covering round 4 of the Northeast 2B District Tournament. We are at West Valley High School where the Colfax Bulldogs are going to be facing off against the Liberty Lancers. Fans are ecstatic to see how each of these teams are going to match up against each other on this February night. I'm Haley Bolliard, and beside me tonight is Sophia Peeker, and we're just going to get rolling right into this pregame show. So, Sophia, what can we expect to see from the Bulldogs tonight?
Well, Colfax has a 12-8 and 7-3 in district, but they did take a loss to Freeman last Tuesday with a score of 52-42.
Yeah, and with that, we can see that they typically score in the 40s to 50s, so pretty average scoring games here for the Colfax Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs need to focus on bringing up the pace a little bit more while still remaining in control of the ball.
Yeah, for sure, and they're stronger on that defensive side, and so with that, endurance will be major. They need to finish out as strong as they started.
Yeah, they're a pretty good aggressive team, and they like to put tight pressure on the offense.
Yeah, for sure, and so with that, they really need to make sure they're working on making their shots sink from beyond the arc here and making every opportunity count.
Yeah, they have 3 girls standing at 6 foot, so I guess that helps them steal rebounds.
Yeah, for sure, that's good height here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
So with that look on the Bulldogs, we're going to take a quick break, and when we're back, we'll go through what we're going to see from the Liberty Lancers. So stay tuned to Cubs FM. Welcome back to the pregame show. I'm Haley Bolliard, and joining me is Sophia Peeker. We have 6 minutes and 8 seconds left before the game starts. After taking some time and discussing Colfax, we're going to take a look at Liberty. Sophia, what are we going to see?
Well, Liberty is 12-10 and 5-7 in district overall, taking a loss to Northwest Christian on Tuesday with a score of 68-32.
Yeah, and they typically score in the 50s to 60s. So a bit higher of a scoring bracket than the Colfax Bulldogs here, but pretty similar.
Pretty defensive team, so they need to focus on keeping the tempo up without allowing turnovers.
Yeah, for sure. And this team starts strong but loses momentum as they carry deeper into the game.
Yeah.
So they just need to make sure that they aren't putting all of their energy just into that first quarter and making sure that they kind of balance it out and can keep a consistent game throughout the entire thing.
And they also need to work on making shots sink from more than beyond the arc.
Yeah, for sure. And Jeske will be helping with that. She's their leading scorer and their leading rebounder. She's a super solid player here for the Lancers. And so with that, stay tuned on Cubs FM to see how each team is going to match up before tip-off. We'll be right back after this short break. welcome back to the pregame show. I'm Haley Bolliard, and with me tonight is Sophia Peeker, getting a good look at both teams. What is this game going to look like tonight?
Well, I think it's going to look like a pretty defensive versus defensive battle with both teams relying on pressure and physical play.
Yeah, for sure. And Colfax does have the rebounding size advantage with 3 players at 6 foot tall.
Yep.
But Liberty does have a really aggressive full court pressure, so that should be an interesting dynamic to watch.
Yeah. The tempo will be key. Colfax needs to increase pace while staying controlled, while Liberty wants to push without turning the ball over.
Yeah, for sure. And with both teams working to improve beyond the arc, perimeter shooting could be the difference maker in this game, seeing who can make more shots from out there.
And with Jeski scoring and rebounding presence versus Colfax balanced defensive effort, it should be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Endurance could swing the momentum in this game.
Yeah.
Liberty has struggled to maintain energy late, and Colfax must finish as strong as they start here. So that will be a big thing to be watching for this game tonight.
Turnovers will be critical with both squads applying tight defensive pressure.
Yeah, so with that, we can expect a physical, grinded-out district matchup where composure and conditioning will decide the outcome. So with just 1 minute and 55 seconds left on the clock, we're going to take a quick break, and when we're back, you're going to be hearing from Sophia for her first ever game on play-by-play here.
Oh my
goodness. So
goodness.
make sure you stay tuned, because that's going to be pretty exciting right here on Cubs FM. Welcome to this KUBS basketball broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the starters of this game here. So we have the Colfax Bulldogs versus the Liberty Lancers here. Again, this is a loser-out bracket. So whoever wins this will advance to the semifinals game of the district playoffs. And the loser, unfortunately, will go home.
Sad.
And so let's get started with our starters here. I think our Liberty Lancers are the visiting team here on the scoreboards tonight. So we'll get started with their very first starter. We have a number 3. She is a guard at 5'2" in her junior year. That is Brianna Tiggs. Then we're going to go to the Bulldogs. We have number 10. This is a senior guard at 5'3", Izzy Huntley. Then we'll get a look at number 10 for the Lancers. This is a sophomore guard at 5'9", Alyssa Babb. Then we'll go to number 14, another senior guard at 5'6" here for Colfax, Addie Penwell. Then we'll get a look at number 13, a senior post at 5'8", Sadie Stout. Next up here for the Bulldogs, we have number 30. This is a freshman guard standing at 5'8", Allie Jenkins. Next up, we have number 20. This is an 8th grade guard at 5'6", Bailey Madsen. Then we're going to go to number 32, another sophomore playing the point guard position. This is one of our players standing at 6 foot tall. That is Brooke Vandermark. Last up for the Bulldogs, we have that all-around player, number 23. This is a senior playing the point guard at 5'4", Jordan Jeske. And last up here for the Colfax Bulldogs, we have number 42. This is a senior post standing at 6 foot tall. You're getting a good look at Lola Henniger. All right, so now we have both teams stepping out onto the court here. Sophia, I'm gonna hand it back over to you now.
Uh-oh.
You got this, girl.
Okay.
So what do we always do before each of the games here?
We play our favorite game
Yes.
up at the half court.
Okay, so we have both of our teams stepping into the jump circle here.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Colfax on this jump here.
Okay, then I guess I will go with Liberty.
All right, pretty good picks here
Yeah.
from both sides. They seem to be pretty similar girls here. That'll be Vanderbark and Henniger in there.
Liberty has the ball, passing it across the half court. Liberty chucks it across.
You're all good, girl. That's all right. We had a shot go up, and that one did not sink there for the Lancers.
Colfax now dribbling it across that logo. Dribbling it across that far side. Shot is up, and it bounces right off into the hands of Liberty. Makes a little pass. Whoa, caught by the Lancers. And and that will result in a jump ball between the two teams.
Yeah, this one will be going to the Lancers here.
Inbounding is Brianna Teagues. Oh, and to Jordan Jeske, and she puts it up and makes it 2.
It went over the basket.
Oh, it went over the basket? Oh, whoops, my bad.
You good.
Colfax puts a shot up, and it ricochets, bounces off. Liberty, Colfax with the rebound.
Yeah, we got a putback shot there, but that one did not sink. Now Liberty stealing this one away. So we have Liberty driving up into the paint there. We find that right block up for 2, and that will sink there for Jeske to bring the score 2-0 with the Lancers in the lead. Now we have Jenkins taking it down that right side of the court here. Gonna push it back up, and it's stolen away there by Jeske. We have a scramble between Vanderbark and Jeske on the floor to try and get that one.
Oh
Another jump ball called. This one will be going to Colfax, who is also bringing in a sub here. Or just kidding. They're not bringing her in yet. Oh, yeah, they will be. Just kidding again.
What's going on? Holly Robinson coming onto the court. Okay.
And so now
Izzy Huntley inbounding it in to Allie Jenkins. Jenkins passes it to Penwell. Penwell chucks it right off to Robinson and shoots it up and makes it.
Score is now 2-2 with 6:08 left in the first.
Jeske navigating where she wants to go, passes it to Bab. Bab a little stuck up there before she chucks it to Stout along that three-point line. Oh, interfered by Liberty, but whoa.
Yeah, we had him try and pass it into the paint there, but it ended up going out of bounds with a girl on the floor. Foul called up here on the game. This one will be going against the Colfax Bulldogs here. That is on Penwell for her first personal and Colfax's first team.
And the shot is up, and it is no good. No good, but she still has one more. And getting ready. Shots up. And it kind of bounces in there, and it is good. Score now 3-2. Score 5:46 on the clock. Whoa, Colfax Colfax shoots a three and it bounces right off, but Colfax rebounding it.
You're all right. We got another shot up for two there. The scramble between Henniger and Rohrbach on that rebound. Another jump ball called. This one will be going to Liberty, so we have Bab inbound that one. She'll hand it into the hands of Bailey Madsen there. We're going to work it down this right wing. Swing back out right lane. Fighting Jeske at the top of the arc. She'll take it down that left lane. Up for two for Jeske. That shot will sink there. 5-2 now reads that score with the Lancers in the lead, and 5 minutes, 7 seconds remain in this first quarter. Jenkins taking it into the paint and up for two, but it's back of the iron. Rebounded by the Lancers, but she steps out of bounds with that one. So possession handed back over to Colfax, and a sub rolling in here for both teams.
Brianna Tags, and for Colfax, Brooke Vanderbark.
So now we have Jenkins inbounding this one underneath her basket. It's looking out towards that right side of the court there. Now tips it right into the hands of Henniger. Now back off to Jenkins on the right wing. We're going to swing it off to Vanderbark at the slot here. He's going to take it around, trying to get down that left lane, step up into the paint, shoots it back out to Henniger at the right wing. Up for three. Woo! Right on the target for Henniger to tie the score up 5-5. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Now we have Madsen swinging it down this right wing. Gonna get it up, pass it around to the top of the arc, but it's stolen away by Halling. Gonna swing down and go up for two, and that is good. Score is now 7-5 with the Bulldogs in the lead. 4:15 left in the first. So we have Liberty on the left wing, up for three from Jeske, but it's right of the mark. We have them go out of bounds trying to get that rebound, but it will bounce out off of the hands of the Lancers. So Colfax inbound that one. That is Huntley giving it off to Jenkins. Jenkins walking through that jump circle here. It's going to be in between circles, looking for a way around some pressure here. Passes that one in. It's intended for Robinson, but Robinson is not quite tall enough to pick that one up. Goes out of bounds off of the hands of Colfax. So we'll have Tiggs inbound that one to Madsen. Madsen taking this one across the timeline. She's only an 8th grader right here. Gonna swing down that right wing. Have it on that left side with Stout. Handing it back off to Madsen. Will chuck a pass over to Bab on the right corner. Back up top of the arc. Now we'll find the corner again. 8 seconds left on the shot clock as they try and infiltrate the paint there. And Huntley picks that one off the floor and hands it over to Jenkins. Jenkins at the right block, up for two. And that'll be good for Jenkins. 9-5 is that score. 3 minutes, 22 seconds left. Timeout called, so we're going to take a quick break too. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. We're going to have the Lancers set to inbound. That will be Bab handing it into the hands of Madsen. Madsen taking it up and over the Eagle logo here. Now pulling out towards that left side. Drive down at the right lane. Shoot it out to Bab at the wing. Takes it up into the paint.
And that is good for the Lancers. Score now 9-7.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Jenkins crossing that Eagle logo, will pass it off to Vanderbark on the wing. Directing some traffic there, tries to pass it in, but it's picked up by Sadie Stout. Hand that one over to Bab, who's at the top of the arc. Swing down that left side, Jeske in the paint, tries to put it up, but does not sink there. We'll get it back out to the elbow. Up for two from Madsen, but that one did not sink. Colfax with that rebound. Get it off to Jenkins on the right slot. will take it back between circles here. Drive down into the paint there, almost losing control, but picking it back up. Shoot it up for two, but that will not sink from Jenkins, and it's Liberty on the rebound. We have Madsen going around, trying to get away from some defensive pressure here. Take it out to the free throw line.
And it bounces off right into the hands of Colfax.
So now we have Jenkins lobbing a pass over intended for Robinson. But again, Robinson just not quite as tall as Jenkins seems to think. It goes out of bounds. Sub rolling in here for the Bulldogs.
Addie Penawell coming onto the court.
That'll be Bab inbounding that one over to Teagues. She'll keep it nice and controlled here in the backcourt as she's in that center jump circle. Pass down that left wing, now up into the paint.
Shots up and it is no good. Whoa. Tilting in a jump ball.
Yeah, that's actually a foul called there.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
This one will be going against the Liberty Lancers.
Foul against Brianna Teagues, her first personal, and the team's first team foul.
So now we have Jenkins crossing through that center jump circle here. He's going to circle around, try and pass it over. Almost intercepted there by the Lancers. Huntley picks it back up, and we'll have a jump ball called here. This one will be going to the Bulldogs. So we'll set Robinson to inbound for the Bulldogs. She hands it to Jenkins in the backcourt. Jenkins taking it up between circles here. Up for
Whoa! Long shot. That was beautiful. Score now 12-7.
1 minute and 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. And we have Teagues handing that one down this right wing. Find that short corner now back outside of the arc. Push up towards the free throw line, left wing, drive up in towards the lane. And bounce out by the Bulldogs to pick it back up. We have Jenkins fighting for it there. Take it down that far sideline, finding the right wing.
Oh.
Up for three, but that's just right of the basket there for Jenkins. So it goes out of bounds off of the hands of Colfax. Now we'll have Teagues inbound that one to Madsen, back over to Teagues. She'll be keeping it slow through the backcourt here. Now picking up the pace as she crosses that timeline, swing out towards that left wing. Will bounce up inside of the arc here, trying to get it in the paint. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. That's Robinson handing it over to Jenkins now on the left slot. Jenkins going down towards that right side, tries to find the hands of Henniger, but just not quite where she needs it to be. Ball goes out of bounds. Shot clocks are off with only 26 seconds left in the first quarter, as we have Teagues taking this one across the center stripe for the Lancers. Up between circles here, we'll find the right wing. Now we'll get it up in towards that free throw line there, back outside of the arc. Pass it out left wing. Up for three from Madsen, but it's over the basket into the hands of Izzy Huntley. Now we have Jenkins going up for that last second shot there, and that will be the end of the first quarter of action. Score is 12-7 with the Bulldogs in the lead. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to this Cubs Sports broadcast. Going to be having the Lancers to inbound this shot here. That'll be Madsen set on that far sideline to get this one inbounded. Hand it over to Teagues, who takes it across the Eagle logo. She's going to drive down right block, back outside of the arc now with Stout. Stout gonna hand it out to Babb, who's gonna find the lane. Shoot it back outside of the arc now. We have Madsen taking it, handing it over to Teagues. We're gonna put it up for 2, and that shot will not sink, and that is Henniger with the rebound, handing it over to Jenkin. Jenkin at the right block, up for 2, and that'll sink. 14-7 is now that score with 7 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first half of action. Now we'll get it off to Madsen on that right wing. Swing down to Babb in between circles. Get it off to Stout, now back up to Babb at the point. Swing down that left side. We're at the left corner, bouncing it into the left lane. Will not work out there, but we have a foul called up on the play. This one will be going against the Bulldogs. That is Robinson with her first personal, Bulldogs' first team foul. We also have a sub checking in here. That'll be NE2B coming into the game for the Bulldogs. So that'll leave Teagues to inbound this one underneath Liberty's basket. Should get that one off, and that is in the hands of Rosebrook. Gonna swing down to Jeske in the paint, up for 2, and that'll sink. 14-9 now reads that score. 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Now we'll be having NE2B take it down the right wing here for the Bulldogs, handing it off to Huntley. Back out top of the arc, swing down towards this right wing. And that is intended for NE2B, but stolen away there by Madsen. Madsen slowing down as she crosses the timeline here. She'll hand it off to Jeske. Pushes that one over to Rosebrook. Now we're back out top of the arc. Swing down towards that left lane. Up for 2 from Jeske. Back of the iron. Will not sink. The rebound is picked up by Penwell. Penwell hands it over to NE2B. Takes it down towards the left block. Back over to Penwell outside of the arc. Up for 2 from Robinson, but it will not sink. That is Babb on the rebound. Take it over the Eagle logo here and get it to the point before she takes it down that left lane. Handing it over to Jeske under the basket and up for 2, but it's over the rim. That one is rebounded by Teagues, and we have a foul called up here on the play. This one will be going against the Liberty Lancers. We also have a sub checking in. That is Vanderbart coming in for Colfax, and that is Teagues' second personal, Colfax first team foul. So now we'll be having NE2B take this one down the right wing, hand it up to Robinson at the point. Swing down that left wing, now finding Henniger at the block. She's trying to get that one up for 2. It's knocked out of bounds, but it's off of the hands of the Lancers there. So Colfax set to inbound this one. That's NE2B inbounding, and we have Jenkin coming back into the game here for the Bulldogs, as well as Madsen checking back in for the Lancers. That'll now leave Jenkin to inbound for Colfax under their basket. 13 left on that shot clock. She tries to find the hands of Vanderbark, but it's knocked down by Teagues and out of bounds, so we'll get to re-inbound that pass there. 12 seconds on the shot clock this time. That's Jenkins still on their baseline. Looking for her inbound pass, finds Vanderbark at the left wing. Takes it down right block. Up for 2 from Vanderbark. Her shot will not sink there, but she will get to go to the free throw line with another foul getting called against Teagues for her third personal, second team foul for the Bulldogs, the Lancers here. So now we have Vanderbark at the free throw line. Shot is up. That first one is back of the iron and no good. We are also going to have a sub come in here for the Lancers. That is Sadie Stout. One more shot left here from Vanderbark. Shot is up. That one is front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Jeske. Jeske keeping this one nice and controlled. As she steps into the center jump circle now, picking up that pace. Going to swing down towards that left block. Finding ourselves at the circle here as we move down this right wing. Gonna get it at the point there. Now swing out right wing with Madsen. Back out to Babb at the top of the arc. Getting it at that right lane now in the paint with Jeske up for 2, but it's too high. Robinson gets that rebound and hands it over to Henniger, who chucks it over to Jenkin. Jenkin finds Vanderbark at the left block. Up for 2, and that'll sink. 16-9 is now that score with 4:54 left in the first half of the game. We'll have Jeske hand that one over to Madsen on the left side. Get it back out, left short corner. Swing out between circles here. We're at the right wing. Now stepping inside that line. Swing out left wing, up for three from Babb, but it's right of the rim. We have them trying to save that rebound. That is Rosebrook going out with it. So possession handed back over to the Bulldogs. Timeout called, so we're going to take a quick break too. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to this Cub Sports broadcast. We're going to be having the Colfax Bulldogs to inbound from right in front of their own bench here. That is Huntley inbounding to Jenkin. Jenkin taking it over the timeline. It's going to direct a play. She drives out towards that right side. Take it out towards that right wing. Looking to do it herself from the short corner. Up for two. Swish right on in for Jenkin. 18-9 now reads that score with 4:10 left in the second quarter. You have Madsen passing that one off to Babb on the left wing. Now back up between circles. We'll get it on this right side. Now back out left. We're at the top of the arc, swinging it at the right wing. We're in the right corner now. Stepping up inside of the arc there. Gonna go up for a deep two from Madsen, and that'll sink to bring the score 18-11. 3:45 left in the first half. Jenkin taking that one into the paint there. Up for two to do it herself. Twirls on out, will not sink there, and it's Robinson with the rebound. Tries to put the shot back up. It will not sink there, but Robinson gets to go to the charity stripe. Foul called on Stout for her first personal. The third team foul here for the Lancers. So now we have Robinson at the free throw line. First shot is up from Robinson. Back of the rim. Will not sink there. Score remaining 18-11 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second quarter here. One more shot left from Robinson. That one is up. That one is also back of the rim, but will sink on in to bring the score 19-11. And Jeske inbounds that one to Madsen for the Lancers here. Swing down towards this right wing. Now get it inside of the paint with Jeske. Left block up for two, and that'll sink. 19-13 now reads that score. 3:17 left in the first half. Gonna have Jenkin in the jump circle. Pulling out towards this left side now. So swing down to the left wing. Pass it into Vanderbark under the basket. Vanderbark up for two, and that'll sink on in for her. 21-13 is now that score. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left in the second quarter. We have Babb passing it off to Madsen on the right wing. Circle back around, hand it into that left wing now with Rosebrook. Pass in just inside the arc there. Now swing back out right wing with Madsen. Back out to Babb between circles, almost losing control there, but picking it back up. And we'll get it up for two from Stout, but it's just right of the rim there. Vanderbark picking up the rebound for the Bulldogs. She hands it off to Jenkin, who finds the right lane. Jenkin tries to put it up for two, but gets tripped up a bit there, and a travel called, so possession handed back over to the Lancers. That'll be Madsen set to inbound this one. Handing it over to Babb. Now back to Madsen, only an 8th grader out here on the court. She'll take it to the top of the arc. Now pass down that left wing to Bab. Back up top of the arc. And swing down this right side. Get it into the paint with Jeske. Trying to fight around Colfax's defense. Up for two, and that is good for Jeske. 21-15 is now that score with 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the first half. We have it go out of possession for the Lancers here, so Bulldogs get to inbound this one under their basket. Jenkin inbounding, 21 seconds left on the shot clock. Jenkin gets that one off to Vanderbark at the right lane. Tries to go up for two, but pushed down by the Lancers. That'll be a foul called up to send Vanderbark to the stripe. This one goes against Bab for her first personal. Lancers' fourth team foul. Only one away from sending the Bulldogs into bonus here. Vanderbark getting ready for her first shot. That one is up. Back of the rim. Will not sink this time for Vanderbark. One more shot left for this journey to the Freedom Stripe. 21-15 is currently the score. Bulldogs ahead by one. Vanderbark's second shot is up, and that will not sink there, but the putback shot by Robinson will sink to bring the score 23-15, 1:42 left in the second quarter. Bulldogs now up by 8. We'll have Jeske take it to the top of the arc, swing down that left side with Madsen. Take it back between circles here, getting stuck up with Huntley's defense. Pass it into Jeske in the paint, up for two, but it's knocked down by the Bulldogs. Picked back up by the Lancers, however. Tries to pass it over, but that is knocked out of bounds. That's off of the hands of Liberty. So Bulldog ball on the far sideline. That's Huntley inbounding to Jenkin. Jenkin crossing the center stripe and pulling out towards that right wing. Passes it into Holly Robinson. Up for two, and that'll sink. 25-15 is now that score. 1:04 left before halftime. You have Madsen going down that far sideline here. Now pushing it on the right wing. Get it in the paint there with Jeske. Up for two, but it's short of the rim. Rebounded by Henniger. Give it off to Jenkin, who'll take it down the left lane. Put it up for a deep two, and that'll sink for Jenkin. 27-15 is now that score. 40 seconds left in the second quarter. We have Jeske walking across that Eagle logo, approaching the top of the arc. Hands it off to Bab, who takes it down the left lane. Now back out to Rosebrook. We'll swing it back out to Jeske. Up from the right short corner is Madsen, but it is no good. Rosebrook gets her rebound. Shot clock is off, 17 seconds left in the quarter. Madsen under the basket for a reverse layup, but a little bit too much power on that one to send it into the hands of Rosebrook. We get to Robinson on the left block, up for two. That'll sink. 29-15 now that score. 2 seconds left in the quarter, and not even going to go for that last second shot. So score as we enter halftime is 29-15 with the Colfax Bulldogs in the lead. Make sure you stay tuned because we'll be right back for our halftime yap after this break. our halftime yap. We have our producer joining us for this one. So, Tyler, what have you seen so far that you liked in this game?
I don't know. Colfax is actually doing pretty good right now. They're
Yeah.
up, how many points did you say?
Oh, shoot. 14? No, wait. 5 and 4. Wait. 10 and 14. I was right the first time. You can't ask me to do math on the spot.
Yeah, quick math is definitely hard. They are making quite a few really good shots, actually. A lot of them are just kind of floating in.
Yeah, for sure.
Interestingly enough, though, even with how well they're playing, it's actually been a very quiet game tonight.
Yeah, not a ton of crowd action here on this one. The bands are insanely noisy. We have bands from both teams, which is really fun. They're really talented bands, too. I enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying it. But I think a really cool thing that is a big asset for Colfax is Jenkins' ability to kind of like put up a careless shot and it still manages to sink on in there for her. She's just an incredible athlete here. And I know that she's had a really solid season despite some hardships, and so it's really special to see her still persevere through that and overcome that adversity and be a key player for Colfax here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Liberty has also been really solid there. I love that one of their main ball handlers is an 8th grader. That is not even like comparable to most high school basketball teams, but Bailey Madsen has been incredible out there for the Lancers, and she is only in the 8th grade, so she still has 4 more years of basketball to play for Liberty High School, and I am excited to see what her future will hold.
Yeah, definitely pretty impressive to see someone like that down there.
Yeah, for sure. It's really like, if I were in 8th grade, I would not ever imagine getting the main ball handling spot on a varsity team for my high school, so that's just really incredible.
Yep.
So I think that pretty much does it for our halftime yap. We have 2 minutes and 18 seconds left before the third quarter starts, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. We have a new 8 minutes on the clock as we go into this third quarter of action here. We'll be having Liberty to inbound this one. That is Babb on that far sideline. Should give it off to Madsen in the backcourt. Madsen taking it over the timeline and up to the top of the arc. We'll swing it out towards this left corner here. Hand it back over to Teagues, who finds the lane, and now back outside at the left arc. Have Jeske hand that one off to Rosebrook. Rosebrook getting it smacked down there by Henniger, but will roll out of bounds, but that is off of the hands of Henniger. So we'll be having the Lancers inbounding under their basket. That's Teagues inbounding. Just looking for her pass here. Hands it off to Rosebrook on the left lane. Back over to Teagues, who's swinging it out towards the top of the arc with Babb. Babb losing control. It hits her legs and goes out of bounds there. So now Colfax gets the possession of this ball here. There was only 1 second left on the shot clock there for Liberty, so they were kind of trying to rush that one. That was actually off the hands of Colfax, so they have that one remaining second there. They get it off to Madsen, who tries to turn it around and put it up for one. Does not sink, and their cheerleaders catch it with pom-poms in their hands, which, impressive. So now we have Jenkins taking this one away for the Bulldogs here. Take it up between circles, now hand off to Henniger at the point. Henniger handing it back to Jenkins. He's gonna take it down that left wing. She'll pass it off to Huntley on the right side. Now back out to Penwell. He's gonna try and feed it into Henniger at the lane. They have 5 seconds on the shot clock. Henniger puts the shot up, but it will not sink. That is Jeske with the rebound. Jeske approaching the point. She swings down towards that right lane. We have Rosebrook in the corner. Now getting it off towards the top of the arc here. Gonna feed it over towards the right slot. Now right wing with Jeske. 10 seconds left on that shot clock. Get it off to Teagues at the right lane. Now we'll have Babb take it into the paint. Up for two, and that's back of the rim. Henniger securing that rebound here for the Colfax Bulldogs. Long pass out to Huntley in the paint, up for two, and that'll sink. 31-15 is now that score with 6:20 left in the third. We have Madsen crossing that Eagle logo, going down that right side. Jenkins trying to steal that one away from her, but we have a foul called up here on that play. This one will be going against Jenkins, so that will be Jenkins' first personal and the first team foul for the Bulldogs here. So that left Madsen to inbound to Babb. Takes it down this left wing. We're in that left corner with Teagues now. Push it up top of the arc with Jeske. Jeske handing it back off to Teagues. Circles around towards that right lane. Now getting it off to Babb. Finds Jeske in the paint. Tries to put it up for two, but there's just arms everywhere. Don't let that one happen. Ball will bounce out of bounds, and it's off of the hands of the Bulldogs trying to pick that one up. Sub checking into the game here for the Lancers. That'll be Sadie Stout coming into the game for Cameron Rosebrook. So now we have Teagues inbounding for the Lancers. Hands it out to Jeske. 7 seconds left on that shot clock as we are in that left wing. Back out left slot. Jeske up for three. That is back of the rim. Henniger with the rebound. Shooting it over to Jenkins. Jenkins handing it to Huntley at the right wing, who gets it out to Henniger. Swing back out left wing with Vanderbark. Up for two, front of the rim. The rebound is loose, eventually picked up there by Stout. Stout handing this one off to Teagues, who gets it off to Madsen on this near sideline. Back out to Teagues, who gets it down the left lane, trying to get to the block. Gets it back out to Jeske at the top of the arc, finds the right block. Up for two from Jeske. The shot is slammed down here by the Bulldogs, so we have a foul called up here. This one is going against Vanderbark for her first personal, second team fouls for the Bulldogs. Jeske to the charity stripe here. First shot is up, and that doesn't even hit the rim for Jeske. 31-16 is now that score. We have Robinson checking into the game in place of Penwell here. One more shot left from Jordan Jeske. Shot is up, just right of the rim. Henniger with that rebound. Hands it over to Jenkins on that far sideline. Jenkins taking it across the Eagle logo here on the fast break down the left lane. Up for two, and that'll sink for Jenkins. 33-16 now that score. 4:56 left in the third. We have Babb taking it across the timeline here. She'll swing out towards this left wing. Circle back around in between circles. She hands that one in to Jeske, who will drive up, towards that left block, up for two, but it's just a little too high. Robinson grabbing the rebound and handing it over to Jenkins. Long pass out intended for Vanderbark, but she can't keep her grip on that one. That one goes out of bounds off of the hands of the Bulldogs. So we'll have Madsen inbound to Babb for the Liberty Lancers. Have Babb taking it over the center jump circle here. Pass out to Madsen, now back out to Babb at the top of the arc. Gonna get it back out to Madsen, right wing. Swing back around towards this left side now. Find Jeske inside of the arc there. She's at that left short corner, pass out towards the right wing with Madsen up for a three. Right of the iron, will not sink. Ball bounces out of bounds. It's off of the hands of Jordan Jeske. So we'll have the Bulldogs to inbound this one. That is Henniger set to inbound for Colfax. She gives it over to Jenkins, who jogs through the backcourt here. Slows down as she crosses the timeline. Swing out towards that right side. Passes it into Vanderbark in the paint. Ball is knocked down and out of bounds, but it's off of the hands of the Lancers. So we'll have Jenkins to inbound this one underneath her basket. 18 seconds left here on that shot clock. Jenkins looking for her pass there. Gentle pass in to Vanderbark. Now back over to Jenkins at the right wing. Up for a three. Swish right on in there for Allie Jenkins. 36-16 now that score. Bulldogs are up by 20 with 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third. You have Teagues in between circles, shooting it off to Madsen at the left wing. Circle back off towards that right side with Babb. Now in towards that right block, out to Jeske at the free throw line. Get it off to Madsen at the left wing, up for three, back of the rim. Rebounded there by the Lancers. They get it off to Babb, right wing, up for three, and that one is good. 36-19 is now that score. 3:14 left. Jenkins up for two, no good. Putback shot also does not sink, and this time it's Stout on the rebound. We'll hand that one over to Jeske, who takes it top of the arc. Get it off to Teagues in between circles here. Now off on that left side with Jeske. Find the left block, but it's knocked down. Picked back up by Stout. Tries to pass it over to Babb. Saved by Teagues, and it almost goes behind that timeline. Teagues with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it off to Stout at the right corner. Up for three, and Stout is good on that shot.
Yeah, that one just sails right in.
36-22 now that score with 2:34 left in the third. Allie Jenkins crossing the Eagle logo here. Take it down towards the free throw line. Pass it back off to Robinson, who loses control. She manages to pick that one back up on the floor there. And timeout called for the Bulldogs. So we're going to take a quick break too, and we'll be right back after this.
Hello and welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. Haley, take it away.
And so like I was saying, welcome back to this Cubs sports broadcast. Thanks for muting my mic. We're going to be having Jenkins inbound this one from that near sideline. Hands that one off to Huntley in between circles there. Back over to Jenkins, who gets it to Henniger on the right wing. Tries to pass that one into Robinson, but it's knocked out of bounds. That one is off of the hands of the Bulldogs, so we're going to be having Teagues inbound for the Lancers here. Shoots that one over to Madsen. Gets it back over to Teagues, who takes it up through the middle of the court here. She's going to drive down that left lane, hand it over to Jeske. Up for two from Jeske, sinks right on in. Score is now 36-24. 2 minutes left in the third. Allie Jenkins in control here for the Bulldogs. She take it down that left lane, up for two. Sinks on in for Jenkins as well. Good shot there. 38-24 now reads that score. That's a good rhyme. 1 minute, 45 seconds left in the third quarter. So we have Bab on that right side of the court here for the Lancers. Takes it left block, up for two, but it's over the basket. Huntley picking up that rebound for the Bulldogs, handing it over to Jenkins. Jenkins crossing the Eagle logo here. She's up in between circles, swings down that left side, passes it into Robinson, who is smothered by defenders from the Lancers. We have a foul called up here on that play. This one will be going against the Lancers. That is on Stout for her second personal and the first team foul here. So we have Jenkins inbounding. That one gives it off to Vanderbark. Now back over to Jenkins, up for three from the right wing.
And again, that just sails in.
Yeah, right on the money for her. 41-24. Now that score, we got 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the third quarter here with Teague taking it across that timeline. Pass over to Madsen on the left wing. Madsen at the elbow, shoots it back over to Bab outside of the arc. Have it on that right wing now with Teagues. Take it up towards the block. Hand it over to Jeske, up for two, and that will sink on in there. 41-26 is now that score with 45 seconds left in the third quarter of action. We have Jenkins keeping this one slow for the Bulldogs as she takes it down that left lane, shoots it over to an open Vanderbark at the right block, up for two. That one is good. 43-26 now that score. Our shot clocks are off as we only have 26 seconds left in this quarter here. Teague taking it up towards the top of the point, shoot over towards that right wing with Bab. Now we'll get it just inside the paint. They're up for two from Teagues, no good. Gets her own rebound, tries to shoot it to her teammate, but it's picked up by Isabella Huntley. Huntley taking it down that near sideline, getting surrounded there. Passes it over to Henniger. We got 5 seconds left in the quarter. And so up for three from Robinson, but a little bit too much power on that one. And that will be the end of the third quarter of action. We have Bulldogs 43 and Lancers 26. Make sure you stay tuned because we'll be back for the final moments right after this. Welcome back to this Cubs Sports broadcast. Not going to get muted this time now, am I?
No, I guess not.
So we'll be having Henniger inbound this one for the Bulldogs there. Gives it off to Jenkins on the near sideline. Jenkins gets tripped up as she tries to drive that one down. So foul called up on the play to be going against the Lancers. That is on Madsen for her first personal, first team foul of the quarter here. Only 3 seconds into the game there. Now we have Henniger back to inbound. Gives it off, and that's up for two from Robinson at the right block. That'll be good there. 45-26 now reads that score with 7:48 left in the fourth quarter. We have Jeske feeding it over to Stout on that left elbow. Now back off to Jeske on the lane. Take it to the block, up for two. Bounces on in for Jeske. 45-28 is now that score with 7:32 left in the fourth. Jenkins keeping the pace up in the backcourt, finds Huntley on the right wing, up for three, but it's over the basket from Huntley. Stout with that rebound, handing it over to Teagues. Get it off to Jeske, uncontested from the right wing, up for three, but just left of the rim there. Ball will bounce out of bounds. That's off of the hands of the Lancers, so possession handed back to the Bulldogs here. We'll be having Henniger inbound for Colfax. Gives that one off to Huntley. Now experiencing a full court press here from the Lancers. A little too aggressive with it, though. So that's a foul called up on Bab for her second personal and their second team foul. We also have subs coming into the game. That is Vanderbark for the Bulldogs, as well as somebody snuck in there for the Lancers. And we have Jenkins up under the basket for two. Will not sink. We get a putback shot, though, and that one will sink from Madsen. 47-28 now that score. And we have 6:57 left on the clock here. We're going to have Liberty with the ball on that right corner. Swing back around towards the wing. Get it out to Jeske at the top of the arc. Trying to direct some traffic here. Fakes a pass off to Teague and tries to maneuver there. Gets tripped up a bit by Colfax, so we're going to have a foul called up. This one is going against Izzy Huntley for her first personal, Bulldogs' first team foul. We're also bringing NE2B into the game for the Bulldogs here, and we have Teagues inbounding for the Lancers. Looking for that pass, gets it off to Stout. Stout gives it back over to Teagues here, who takes it towards the top of the arc. Swing out towards that right wing with Jeske. Hand over to Madsen, who gets it at the right elbow. Gives it over to the wing. Now we'll circle around, lose control, and it's picked up by Robinson. Robinson trying to take it down there, but does not do it legally. So possession will be handed back over to the Bulldogs. We also have Jenkins coming back into the game for the Bulldogs. So now Lancers inbounding. And they'll get that one into the hands of Madsen. Madsen in that center jump circle here. Passes that one in. And we're going to find Jeske in the paint, getting tripped up a bit there. Bulldogs a little too aggressive with their gameplay right now. Another foul called up. This one will be going against Robinson for her second team foul. Teagues inbounding here for the Lancers. Hands it off to Jeske at the left wing. Jeske looking for a pass there, finds Madsen in the paint, up for two, and that'll sink. 47-30 now reads that score, 5:57 left in that fourth quarter. So we have Robinson under the basket, up for two for the Bulldogs. That one is also good. 49-30 now reads that score, 5:47 left in the game. Jeske on the left slot, going for the three to do it herself, back of the iron. Jenkins grabbing that rebound and taking it down the far sideline. Long pass to Huntley. He feeds it to Robinson at the right block. Up for two, doesn't sink. She gets her own rebound, tries to put that one up. It will not work out there. However, she will get to try again with a foul called against the Lancers. That is on Teagues for her fourth personal foul. Gotta watch those here. Third team foul. So now we have Robinson headed to the freedom stripe. First shot is up from Robinson, back of the iron. Will not sink on that one. We also have a sub coming in for the Lancers. That will be Bab back into the game in place of Rohrbach. One more shot left here from Robinson to try and bring their score to 50. Shot is up, back of the rim, but it will bounce on in there to bring the score 50-30. 5:29 left in the fourth quarter. Jeske handing it over to Teagues in the backcourt here. She'll take it across the timeline, back over to Jeske on the right lane. Hand that one out to Madsen, who takes it down towards that left side. Swing back up towards the top of the arc. Bab handing it out to Jeske at the left wing. Take it up into the paint, up for two from the left side. That one will sink from Jeske. 50-32 is now that score with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Huntley saving that one for the Bulldogs here. Tries to pass it in. Almost lost there by the Bulldogs. Picked back up by Neba, but her feet slide just a little too much. Not enough traction on those shoes. So possession handed back over with a travel called. We have a timeout called, so we're going to take a quick break too, and we'll be right back after this.
Hello and welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast.
So I got muted again, guys. That was really funny. So now we have Jeske taking this one up towards that right side of the arc. She'll go down that right lane. Hand it off to Madsen. Now back out to Jeske at the right wing. Find Teagues at the top of the arc. And back over to Jeske now in the paint. Up for two from Jeske. The shot will not end up sinking there. But we do have a foul called up on the play. So Jeske gets to go to the charity stripe. Foul on Robinson for her third personal and the third team foul here for the Bulldogs. Jeske at that free throw line now. First shot is up. That one does not fall in there for Jordan Jeske. Score is 50-32 right now. One shot left from Jeske. Tyler, since you're a pro, you're going to get to call this one.
All right, and she's up, and it's no good.
Yeah, that one's rebounded by Robinson. Hands that one over to NE2B. She'll take it down and lose control as she tries to cross the timeline. Ball will roll out of bounds, so we'll get possession back over to the Lancers here. That is Bab set to inbound this one over to Jeske in the backcourt. Jeske crossing that timeline and at the point, shooting it off to Madsen at the right wing. Get it over and try and find ourselves under the basket. Ball will go out of bounds, but it's off of the toes of the Bulldogs here. So shot clocks get reset as we have Teagues inbound this one for the Lancers. He's looking out right for a pass. Gets it to Jeske at the right block, up for two, but it's over the basket. Robinson picking up that rebound. She'll hand it over to NE2B, who's trying to go down that far sideline. Ball will be knocked out of bounds, but it's off of the hands of the Lancers. Coming into the game here for NE2B, we also have Vanderbark back into play. So she'll be inbounding that one to Jenkin. Jenkin just on this side of the timeline here. Takes it down that left lane, now out to the left wing with Vanderbark. Get it back off to Jenkin deep on that left side. She'll pass that one into Henniger, now back over to Jenkin, right wing, up for three from Allie Jenkin. Hits that right side of the rim, and it's rebounded by Jeske. Jeske keeping the pace up as she goes into the paint there. Drives in and tries to pass that one over to Stout. Ball will bounce out of bounds, but it's off of the hands of the Bulldogs, so Teagues inbounds this one for Liberty underneath her basket. 21 seconds left on that shot clock. Teagues inbounding to Madsen on the left wing. Go back out to Jeske at the top of the arc. Have Bab up for three right wing, but it's back of the iron. Jeske gets her rebound. Gives it back over to Bab, who drives down the left lane, up for two. That will sink for Bab on that one. Bring our score 50-34, 3 minutes and 21 seconds left in this game here as we have Jenkin hand that one off to Vanderbark at the left wing. Over to Huntley now at the slot to circle around towards this right side. Stuck between circles here, and we're going to have a jump ball called. This one will be going in favor of the Lancers, who are also bringing in a sub. That's Lucy Smith checking into the game in place of Stout. And inbounding for the Lancers, we have Madsen. Madsen handing it over to Teagues. Just keeping this one nice and slow. She'll direct some traffic as she passes it off to Madsen at the right wing. Now back out, swinging left wing. Bab up for three. Almost sinks, but swirls on out. That's Vanderbark with the rebound, handing it over to Jenkin on the near sideline. Jenkin taking it down, circling around to find the arc. Take it up between circles here. He'll get it off at that right slot. Hand it into Henniger under the basket. Henniger trying to go up for two, but she gets absolutely stuffed down there. That's a foul called against Smith for her first personal and the third team foul here for the Lancers. We'll see Henniger go to the free throw line. First shot is up from Henniger.
And it's no good.
Wow, I love getting interrupted. One shot left here from Henniger. Are you going to call this one too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And she's up for the shot. And it is good.
Yeah,
and a very quiet reaction from the audience.
That one swishes right on in there for Henniger and should bring the score 51-34, but not seeing those points on the board yet. 2 minutes, 31 seconds left in this fourth quarter of action. Smith on that left lane. Hands it off to Teagues at the right elbow. Up for two, but it's no good. Smith gets the rebound. Hands it off to Bab. She tries to shoot it up, but it's smacked down by Jenkins, but picked back up by the Lancers. We have Bab handing it off to Jeske at the left wing. Shoot it over to Teagues on that right side now. She'll take it up in and hand it off to Madsen at the right corner, up for three, but just right of the mark. And Teagues will get that rebound, tries to put it up, but a bit too many hands in her face, make it so her shot can't sink. So we have a foul called here. This one will be going against Robinson. That's her fourth personal, so needing to watch your fouls there. Fourth team foul from the Bulldogs. Teagues at that charity stripe here. First shot is up. Back of the rim will not sink there for Teagues. Sub rolling into the game here for the Lancers. That is going to be Cameron T. She'll be taking the spot of Jeske. One shot left here for Teagues. This journey to the freedom stripe. That one is up, and it's right of the rim. Vanderbark gets that rebound, but her foot just barely slides out of bounds there. So possession is handed back over to the Lancers with 2 minutes left in this game, and Teagues inbounding the ball for Liberty. Fakes a pass out left, now gets it out on that right wing. Gonna get it off to Bab, who gets stuck in the paint there. Tries to put it up for two, but it's stolen away by Vandermark. Jenkins now getting a long pass over to Robinson, up for two. Shot will sink to bring that score 53-34, 1:44 left in the game. Now we have Madsen handing it off to Teagues, who circles around and finds the right lane. Up for two, but it's left of the rim, and it's a fight for the rebound, eventually picked up by Robinson and fed. And, well, trying to get it over to Henniger, but too many people in the way there. We have a foul called here against the Liberty Lancers, and a plethora of subs rolling in from both sides. I see Penwell, Nebe, and McNeely for the Bulldogs here, and coming in for the Lancers we have Rohrbach as well as Finau. And so now we have Robinson at that free throw line, up for her first shot. That one is back of the iron, no good. That foul was called against Teagues, and that's her fifth personal foul, so she was out of this game. Another sub coming in here for Colfax. That will be Braylon Penwell. One shot left from Robinson here. Shot is up, and that one will work out there. Score now 54-34, and we have Rowan Remler coming in for Colfax.
Yeah, the audience wasn't really impressed with that shot.
So now we have Finau inbounding into the hands of Anderson. We're going to get it off on that right wing now. Swing back around between circles here. Smith driving in, hands it over to T. Now back out on that right wing. 14 seconds left on the shot clock with T on the right wing. Tries to get it to Finau, almost losing control there, but picks it back up. Tries to shoot it in, and we're at that right block now. Finds Smith in the paint, up for two, but it's knocked down by Colfax. And that will be Nebe handing it over to Addie Penwell. And we have some subs rolling into the game here with a timeout called. So coming in for Colfax, we will have McNeely, and they're actually not going to do that timeout there. They must have just been letting the subs in. So we have inbounding for the Bulldogs here. We'll find Braylon Penwell in control of the ball here. Get it off to Remler on this right wing. Shoots that one over, back to Penwell. Fakes a three, now passes it over to McNeely at the top of the arc. Drive down that left lane, get it outside of the arc, up for three, and that shot will not sink there. Picked back up by McNeely. Fed over to Braylon Penwell, up for the three, will not sink. 25 seconds left on the clock. Shot clocks are turned off. Penwell down this right wing. We're going to get it into the hands of Remler. Now back out to McNeely. Tries to shoot that one over, but it is knocked out of bounds off of the hands of the Bulldogs there to bring our score 54-34 with 10 seconds left on the clock. And that will be Anderson inbounding for the Lancers there, handing it over to Rohrbach. We'll find the hands of T, up for three for the last shot of the game. And that will be the end of this game. Final score is Colfax 54 and Liberty 34. So Colfax will be moving on to the semifinals of this bracket there. Unfortunately, Liberty will be going home and ending their season here tonight. Good effort put up by Liberty. A pretty fun game to watch here, right, Tyler?
Yeah, definitely.
And so we do have another game coming up right after this, so make sure you stay tuned on Cubs FM, and we'll see you all in a few minutes.
Yep.